What up guys, Nick from WhatUpMC here, and we are back with another Pokemon Go video. I wanted to do a little bit of a follow-up to the Ditto video that I posted last week to provide you guys with a bit more information about Ditto, and also to correct or clarify some of the things that I mentioned originally in that video. Since when I usually do update videos like this, I get a bit rambly, so I'm going to try and cut it short. We're going to stick to a couple topics, how you can get it, how it determines what CP it will be at when it transforms, how well it does in gyms, and a bunch of other random facts about it. Alright, so right here, these are all the Dittos I got. I have 6 of them now, and 4 of them are Pidgeys, and 2 of them are Rattatas. I think I remember that correctly. So, from what I can say, from what I've experienced firsthand, they've all been Pidgeys and Rattatas. That's how you get them. I've seen a lot of people saying Zubats. I haven't actually seen any videos of it being caught, like another Pokemon being caught and it turning to a Ditto, but there have been a lot of people saying Zubats, so I'm pretty sure that's pretty much confirmed. A couple of people have been saying Magikarp, and then there were a couple random ones. I saw a Jigglypuff, a Dragonite. That one might have just been a troll. I don't really believe that one. I don't know if maybe I just got a bit unlucky with the Dittos I caught, but none of them seem to be above level 20. They all seem to be pretty low level, and I actually have my highest one right here as my buddy Pokemon. So let's talk about what the CP is in battle. If you guys saw the original video, I mentioned that I thought the CP was maybe affected by the IVs, that my Ditto transformed into a Pokemon that was exactly the same as the one in the gym, but that my Ditto had much lower IVs, which is why my CP was lower. But looking back, I don't think the difference in IVs would have accounted for that much of a difference in CP. And after doing a little bit of research, I figured out that it's actually determined on the Ditto's level. So my Ditto going into a gym would transform into the opposing Pokemon with the same moves as that Pokemon, except with my Ditto's level. Since my Dittos are pretty low level, they weren't doing too well. When I transformed into that Cloyster, I was a bit lower level than it too. And then when I transformed into a Vaporeon, I was way lower CP than that one, so it didn't do too well. Now, if we're going to be talking about how to use Dittos in gyms, I don't really see how a Ditto could be a good defender because it'll be placed really, really low on the level of the gym, basically just because the highest Ditto can get to is 718 CP, I think is what has been confirmed is the highest CP for Ditto at max level. Plus, you can't really control what the Ditto transforms into, so if you were going to attack a gym that has a Ditto in it, you could throw in like a scrap Pokemon and then immediately switch in a Pokemon that's super effective against that Pokemon. Like you could just immediately throw in a Rattata as your first Pokemon, the Ditto would transform into that because the Ditto would obviously be at the bottom of the gym, and then you just swap into whatever beats a Rattata, which is basically anything. So I wouldn't recommend using Ditto as a gym defender, but it could be pretty interesting as a gym attacker because there are a couple Pokemon in Gen 1 that have moves that are super effective against themselves. Now, mainly the one that used to be the only one in the meta was Dragonite, but now since Gengar received a huge buff, Gengar is also included in that. For those of you who don't know, Dragon is super effective against Dragon and Ghost is super effective against Ghost. So if you go against a Dragonite that has a Dragon move or 2 Dragon moves, then you'll be super effective against that Dragonite. And same thing if you go against a Gengar that has Ghost type moves, or if the Gengar has Dark type moves, it's also super effective against itself. The only downside though is that while you'll be doing super effective damage to the opposing Pokemon will also be doing super effective damage back to you. So if you can, do well with your dodges and not get hit too much, then you'll come out on top. If you do use a Ditto in a gym, I would recommend using it as your first Pokemon and hoping that the one that it transforms into is one of those ones that I mentioned, like Gengar and Dragonite, because if you switch in a Ditto, it kind of takes a bit of time to transform, and it can take a lot of damage in that time. So your best bet is to either just throw it in right away, the first Pokemon in battle, or switching it in when there's kind of like a pause in between attacks from your opponent. If you switch it in right after your opponent switches in a new Pokemon, then the opponent's Pokemon attacks twice right away when they're switched in, so your Ditto will take quite a bit of damage. I think the best time to switch the Ditto into battle would be after the opponent uses a big charge move. So then you switch in that Ditto after the big charge move, and it will probably only take 1 attack of damage. Ditto doesn't really have a very high HP stat, so if it takes a lot of damage before it transforms, then you'll be out of a lot of health. Also, it helps if you have a Ditto that's way higher level than the Pokemon in the gym. Right now, I have walked 17.1 kilometers with my Ditto. I've got 23 candies up till now. I was curious to see if there was a kind of little Easter egg like there was with Pikachu. I didn't expect Ditto to be on my shoulder, but I figured he may do something really kind of weird. Maybe he would transform into another random Pokemon if I got him up to a certain level. Another thing with Pikachu was at 10 kilometers, and this Ditto is now at 17, so it's way past that. But I also had a theory at the time that the Pikachu thing wasn't related to the amount of kilometers you did, and it was related to the amount of candies, because the Pikachu only popped up on my shoulder after I received the 10th candy and not at the 10th kilometer, since I had removed him and put him back in. So the time I got the 10th candy wasn't the same time as I got the 10th kilometer. So we'll see if maybe I'll keep this Ditto until 30 kilometers. Then we'll see if anything happens then. I don't think anything will happen, but I'm just going to keep it there just to be sure. And if it does happen, then I will let you guys know in another video. Also, as you guys can see here, Ditto is a 3 kilometer Pokemon for getting candy, which means if it did hatch from an egg, it would be a 5k egg. But I highly doubt that it will hatch from an egg, because in the main series games, you know, you cannot breed Dittos with each other. You can't get a Ditto from an egg. You can breed Ditto with almost any other Pokemon and get an egg of that species of Pokemon, but not from a Ditto. So I would highly doubt that they would add Ditto as a Pokemon you can hatch from an egg. Although they are changing a bunch of stuff with Pokemon that hatch out of eggs, like Pikachu, Magmar, Electabuzz, Jinx, but that's probably only because their pre-evolved forms aren't actually in the game yet. And also, after I posted the video, there were a lot of people in the comments saying that if 2 people catch the exact same Pokemon in the same spot, then they will both get Ditto, and I was actually able to confirm that for myself. I think the day after, my girlfriend and I were out, we were catching Pokemon, and she didn't have a Ditto, so she was really desperate to get one, and I wanted to check if that thing worked with 2 people catching the same Pokemon. I ended up catching a Pidgey. She was catching a different Pidgey. It didn't turn out to be a Ditto. I told her it was that Pidgey exactly there as she got out of the battle. She caught it and it was a Ditto. So 2 people, same Pokemon, both Ditto. Also, the CP of the Pokemon that you're catching has nothing to do with the CP of the Ditto. It could be completely different. If you still haven't found a Ditto yet and you are looking for one and you have a lot of time to spend and maybe a couple of friends that are also looking for Ditto, then I would recommend going out with a bunch of people, going out to places where you know there are a lot of Pokemon that spawn, and each person goes to catch a different Pokemon in a different spot, because then you'll have more chance of finding a Ditto if you kind of spread out and don't catch the same Pokemon. So then if one person gets the Ditto, then you know that everybody can go and catch that Pokemon, and then they'll all get Ditto. So yeah, if you are going out looking for Ditto, you won't see a Ditto anywhere nearby. I would just recommend catching all the Pokemon you can. But yeah, all in all, I think Niantic did a pretty good job of implementing Ditto this way, and I really hope they do something similar for when they finally release Shinies. I hatched a Squirtle and I wasn't even moving. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today concerning Ditto. I have a couple other Pokemon Go videos that I'm going to be working on soon, including a Q&A video / thank you to Trainer Tips for giving me the amazing shout out in his Ditto video. If you want to go check out his video, I will put a link over there for you guys to go watch it. But yeah, I just want to do a kind of a thank you to him, and also Q&A to welcome all the new viewers, subscribers to the channel. To answer any questions you guys will want to have. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below and I will get to them in the Q&A. Also, a couple other videos to look forward to in the future. I just want to do kind of a wrap up of the Thanksgiving event, talk about how well Niantic did certain things for the Thanksgiving event and also the Halloween event, since I meant to do one for that event too, but I didn't. So I will just kind of cram them all into one. What I think Niantic did well, what I think they kind of messed up on, and how they can improve on it in the future for maybe a Christmas event. And also, since everybody's talking about it right now, I guess I'll give some thoughts about Gen 2, why I don't think it's coming out soon, why I hope it's not coming out soon, and also what I think we should expect when it finally does come out. And also, since I do live in Canada, it is starting to get pretty cold here, and I thought I could give maybe some people a unique insight to what Pokemon Go is like in the winter, since I think there are some pretty unique challenges to face concerning that. But I do have a couple of ideas how Niantic could maybe improve the gameplay for people during the winter to make it a little bit easier on us in the colder areas. But yeah, if you guys want to see any of those videos when they're posted, then be sure to subscribe up here. And if you want to see any other of my videos, like other Pokemon Go stuff, or maybe even Sun and Moon, if you guys are interested in that, then I will put the links over there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.